Okay. Whew. I looked at this and thought, okay, I've got to move this or extend this 2.5 inches in that way, that 1.5 inches, and I thought, no, that's not going to happen. That is a lot of fiddling, a lot of hard work. I'm going to chop this again. I know you're dying to see more on this. So my plan, the plan that is mine, is to cut this, screw it back into place. So I'm thinking while I'm thinking, then tape this, put some fiberglass on it, and in there, hang on, how am I going to do that? Because I want to get the shape right. That's my issue here, is getting this shape right when I make it on the bench. Or can I somehow do it in situ, but without the fiberglass getting bonded to the metal? Which is why I think if I tape all of this, let me see. I'm still thinking that's the way I'm going to go. Take this, put some fiberglass on here, and put resin on it so that it sets stiff, but leave enough fiberglass to go into here. Then how will I do that? Well, if I've done it up to here, it'll be stiff up to here, so then I'll know where I've got to turn it, and I'll have a line on it. Good thoughts. Okay, let's get this chopped, and then we can continue from there. Right, I have screwed this tunnel cover, and not in the way I'd like to. However, I've got a screw in here, one here, same on the other side. This tells me this is up higher than I want it to be, so that will be beaten down, and the same on the other side, but not as much. My plan now is to put the plastic cover over it and screw the plastic cover down. When the plastic cover is on and down, yes, I will show you, then I will decide about the next layer, which is the transmission tunnel internal cover, for want of a better word. I've got enough room here, I think. I've got more room on one side than I have on the other. There, I can get my finger in. Oh shit, I can do it here too. All right, so I'm lying. What a surprise. So I'm going to modify this here. I've done some more welding here. I noticed there was a hole there, so I filled that in a big Mr. Blobby way. And I'll grind this down and make it purty before I finish it. But first, what I want to do is get the plastic tunnel cover on there and then try the other cover to see how it stands. Oh boy, why do I get into this shit? Okay, back in the car again. Now, I'm sure you all will recall that I was concerned about my temperature gauge. I still am. I'm not concerned that it's not working, I'm concerned that my engine gets too hot. Now, that's just with it idling, so let's see. Ignition is on, fuel pump has stopped. Let's fire her up. Yes, we're in neutral. And she fires straight away, even in neutral. What have we got? We got some oil pressure. Let's see what we can do about zooming in on gauges here. Hang on, fucking camera. Okay, oil pressure on idle. I have no clue what that cougar is. Oil pressure in proper measurements between 0 and 50, so we'll guess at 30-ish. Temperature, water, currently just above 30. FUL, just above quarter. Amps, if you believe that, and I don't. Clock says 1:15. That's a lie. It's almost 3:30. Generator light is still on. Let's put the generator light out. That's it. Quick blip on the throttle. There she goes. Has that changed the amp? No. Now, one thing when you are driving a Jaguar Mark II, you need something special by your side, and in my case it's a gin and tonic. Woo-hoo! Alright, I'm being silly. Oh, there's a surprise. Gary's being silly. Hey, there's a gin and tonic there. Let's not be silly. Listening to this running, and there's all these rattles and bangs, but it's all the doors because there's no seals on them. All right, we are now going to continue and monitor if I can get the camera to obey me. Come on. Oh dear, at times I hate this camera. I wish I could just say, no, look over there. See, look, there. Currently it says, I don't know, 30 and 70, 50-ish. That's just with it idling. But I only have the small fan at the moment. So I'm going to leave it running for a bit and we'll come back. Those of you that are sick and tired of watching this transmission tunnel, almost as much as I am doing it, look away now. What I have decided to do is I will be taping that metal to get the shape I want. So I'll be putting some wide tape on there. But prior to that, my plan is to come walk this way, take this little beastie and fiberglass in here with huge amounts of fiberglass sheeting, but only resining here to hold it in position. Then after that I can put it in the car, resin that piece and shape it, and then use plastic padding or whatever I need to do to get the final shape. Okay, breathe in. That's not right. How's that looking? Well, I did warn you, look away if you don't want transmission tunnel work. You know I've mentioned it before, I'm no expert on fiberglass, I've never done it before, so I'm kind of getting used to it. One of the things I've discovered though is that I seem to run out of hardener. Now that's probably because I don't measure it properly, and I should, but I don't. I guess the world knows that people like me are idiots, and you run out of hardener. You get plenty of resin and plenty of this fiberglassing stuff, but you tend to run out of hardener, which I've done. So I'm about to shoot down the road and buy some hardener, and if they got some more resin, I might buy some more resin. I sure as hell don't need any more fiberglass, I've got tons of the stuff. Got myself a pair of rubber gloves here, ready, and you will need these scissors. My plan, should it work, is I will coat in here where I want this fiberglass padding to stick, and I will then brush it, etc., and get it as best as I can, and then let it set. On the tunnel itself in the car, as I mentioned, I'm going to put blue tape. Colour doesn't matter. I'm putting the tape to prevent the fiberglass matting from sticking to the transmission tunnel. Then when I take it off, it'll destroy the tape, but I don't care. Now that's all in theory. I'm usually pretty good at theory. Expert? No. So I figure, you know, slap all the resin around here, here. Grab my sheet of fiberglass, slap it in there, and tuck it in the corners, making sure it gets right in the corners with my fingers, with rubber gloves on, and maybe the brush, don't know. Now, do I do it that way, or do I do it this way? No, I don't. I do it this way. I think I can get what I'm trying to achieve with this here, allowing that biggish piece out there. Of course, if it doesn't work, I can always add some more. That's, I guess, the blessing of fiberglass. Yeah. Okay, I'm off down the road. Not that you care. When I come back, I will, I don't know, put something under here, maybe paper towels or something, I don't know. Something that will be absorbent, but will let me tear it apart, because the resin will drip through. Maybe I'll use blue tape. I don't know. I tell you what, this tunnel, you're going to be able to support a 4th bridge on it, or even the 5th bridge, or even Mrs. Bridges. Ah, now I'm taxing your brain cells. Who the hell's Mrs. Bridges? This will show how old you are, if you know. Right, let me go get the shit, and I will be back for more fun at the fair. And here we go. So I've lined the bench with blue tape, paper towels, laid this here, gonna let it set. Once it's set, make sure everything's kind of how I want it to be. I appreciate it's not going to be perfect. Then once this is set, I can offer this up to the car. But before I can offer it up to the car, I obviously have to finish working on the metal bit. So that may be for the next video. Who the hell am I kidding? It's going to be the next video. I want to let this set. It's coming up to 4 o'clock in the evening here. I'm sweating like a you don't want to know what. And it's time to end my working day and get on to my video editing day. So get out in that garage. Go do some shit. I'm sorry, too much transmission tunnel stuff here, I know. But it's stuff I'm doing, and people foolishly have expressed an interest in what I'm doing, so that they don't have to do it. Okay, I have made my first impression, however you want to look at it. I've got my little curtain here of fiberglass, which will be draped over the transmission tunnel metal that I've made. Obviously I'll be cutting this out, it just happened. But I do need to finish prepping the piece of metal and welding in place, I have decided. It needs to be cleaned up, sandblasted and welded into place, but of course I also have to clean up the transmission tunnel itself, or at least what's there, so that I can get some good welding done. It's too late at night to do it now, although for you it's just the beginning of the video. For me it's 5 o'clock in the evening and I ain't going to start welding now because, as my good friend, my good YouTube friend, in Church House Classic says, you have to go on fire watch. And that means being in your garage for at least minimum an hour after you have done welding, grinding, whatever, to make sure nothing's going to be on fire. In my case, that is particularly relevant because my garage is attached to my house. Okay, so Church House Classics, it's not attached to his house, but he doesn't want to burn his customers' cars, etc., 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 to the ground. So he's very sensible, and as he's so much older than me, which he really isn't, I'll do as he suggests, which of course is something I would do anyway in reality. I just thought it'd be fun to say that. Okay, Tricky Dicky. I know you're busy running a business, but I think Range Rovers, Land Rovers are a lot more simpler than doing this shit. All right, back to the grindstone.